See what a good boy I'm being. This is my second GAC video of the day. I fought JediJunior twice over the course of the season. We went 1-1 for the season series. So I figure I'd just put both JediJunior ones out. So hats off to JediJunior. So I was saying in the other JediJunior video, I really feel badly for newer players because they're just screwed. I wouldn't even be opposed to CG putting out another hyperdrive bundle sort of thing, call it like, I don't know, the Kessel Run bundle or something like that, just to try and catch newer players up a bit. I mean, you don't even have to make it available to Krakens. Of course they will, because then they know the Krakens will buy it, and Krakens are probably more likely to buy a bundle like that than even the newer players. But I mean, they should give them the option. The hyperdrive bundle was really, I wouldn't say great, but it was good insofar as it put, like, if a newer player had bought it or buys it, because it's still available if you haven't purchased it, it gives them a little bit of a leg. Well, I wouldn't say a leg up, but it gives them a little bit of a jump start to catch up a little bit in terms of character acquisition, and maybe a couple of Zetas, because it does give like maybe 5 Zeta salvage or something like that. Not a lot, but so I think that CG should do that, because otherwise, by nature of the game, the player base is just going to continue to dwindle and just, it's going to keep on tapering, so that the top accounts are really, I mean, they already are in a league of their own, literally and figuratively. But that's just going to continue, and like, there's still burnout amongst the upper echelons of the game. That's not going to stop. So just by nature of the game, the way that CG have designed it, and they've created a number of bottlenecks, which I get and I appreciate, because as a Kraken, I prefer some exclusivity, and enjoy some exclusivity, but it's just too tall of a mountain to climb for anyone that's trying to come into this game, play by the rules, i.e. not buy an account, and then try to make it to the top. How is someone that even started 3 years ago, right, going to catch up with someone like me who's been playing this game for over 5 years, or anybody else, because I'm by no means, I'm not even a top 100 account anymore. It's just impossible. I mean, I have 150 some odd Zetas with like probably 15 Zetas banked, waiting for new character releases. There's just no way anyone's going to catch up. A newer player is going to catch up. It's impossible. Again, to a degree, I get it and appreciate it, because I like the exclusivity of it. But from an objective point of view, an outside point of view, a third-party point of view, eventually you're going to run out of top players, and or the level of top player is going to be like a dozen people at the very, very, very top, and then the next level down is just going to be a huge drop off. I mean, we've had some retirements in Maw, but look at some of the other guilds. You know, TI has had a lot of, well, defectors, but a lot of retirements. There's a lot of retirements, and it's been going on for the better part of 2 years, I would say, that slowly but surely more and more of the top just drop off. So I think for the longevity of this game, assuming that CG care about that, they should find some sort of a way And I'm not saying give newer players a leg up so that all of a sudden they become 8 million GP with 150 Zetas, but give them a chance. Like, there's no way, if you have the most hardcore of hardcore players that only came to this game within the last 2 years, they're going to want to be at a Call Patrol level. Well, presumably, they're going to want to be at a Call Patrol level, a Maw level, a Shadowlands level, a GSF Alpha level. You know, top 10, and there are others, top 10 guilds in the game. If they want to be that, their only course of action is an illegal one, buying an account. So it's just, yeah, CG's got to give newer players a chance to get on a higher level, because right now they don't have one. You can grind and grind and grind, and you can spend and spend and spend, but if you didn't start this game within 5 years ago, you're just not gonna catch up. You're not gonna catch up. And I have 100, like I said, I have 150 somewhat Zetas on characters, and I have about 30 banked. In my opinion, I think I only have 2 Zetas wasted. 2 Zetas that aren't used at some point during the various game modes of the game. And one of them is going to be Qui-Gon Jinn lead, because who uses that anymore? Even with Cam. Although sometimes I do use that in GAC. So there you go. Yeah, sure, some characters fall out of relevancy, but I never did Grandmaster Yoda lead. I really don't. If you look at my account, I really don't feel like I have any wasted Zetas. I guess with the benefit of hindsight, Jyn Erso's lead, you could say, is a wasted Zeta. But at the time, it wasn't. At the time, Rogue One was used in TW, if you can believe that. So I just, I would like to see CG do something to make it a little bit easier for newer players. Again, not necessarily to get up on our levels, but certainly something. By the way, this is a huge life hack. Just Seep versus Gas. He never gets out of Neil until everyone's dead, and then he has no protection. So it's hilarious. Yeah, so enough about that rant. Yeah. And look, I get it. There are plenty of people that just don't want to spend, and that's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. You shouldn't feel obligated if you do not want to. Totally fine. Just, don't expect to make it to a top 10 guild unless you've been playing since the game's release, because there is pretty much fully free-to-play account in Maw. He's actually an officer, and his account's pretty good. Does he have everything G13? No. But he's in Maw. Clearly, he can hang. He certainly knows how to mod properly, because, if you're F2P, you got to make sure you're on your mod game, otherwise you won't be able to hang. We have a couple guys that are either FTP or mostly FTP, and it's tough for them, but they get it done. Yeah, Phipps, I'm talking about you. You're one of them. You weren't the person that I was invoking in the beginning, but you're certainly one of them. Yeah, it is difficult. I think the Wolfpack are probably generally some of the best examples of players that make up for their comparative lack of spend. Not saying they don't spend, because some of them definitely do. But given where they are in the guild rankings, comparatively, they do not spend as much as their contemporaries. And I think that the Wolfpack are probably amongst the greatest theory crafters in the game currently. I think if the Wolfpack had if their average account was like mine, 8.2 and change, I think that they would be much better at this game than I am, for sure. Anyway, so that's all I have to say about that. All right, so yeah, I'll just finish up this GAC. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Yeah, go watch my Conquest videos if you haven't. Hopefully they'll help a little bit. Some of it's really tough, some of it's easy, but it's a decent game mode. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite game mode, but it's certainly not my least favorite game mode. I think my least favorite game mode might be GAC, honestly, because it's just the same shit over and over and over and over. So, yeah, GAC is probably my least favorite game mode. Conquest is okay. I'll give Conquest credit where credit is due. It makes you think a little bit. It's good. It's a good amount of challenge. Sometimes it's a little bit ridiculous in terms of some of the feats, but you know what? I'll take it. It's a little bit. I wouldn't say it's new, even though it's new. It's a little bit different, so I do appreciate that. It's not just a reskin necessarily. It's not a cop-out like a heroic pick challenge mode. So it's, yeah, I'm satisfied with Conquest. I am satisfied. It is adequate. A little bit more than adequate. Let's be nice. It's a little bit more than adequate. So yeah, clearly that fleet battle did not go my way. Sometimes when you lose a GAC battle, you just kind of fall off the deep end. You start rushing. You start making poor decisions, trying to make up for a previous loss, and this is what happens. Yeah, whatever. It's just GAC. Still made Kyber for all the benefits of that. Yeah. I wish they would change. I wish they would change up TW also, man. I mean, TW has not really changed ever since its inception. Yeah, sure, we had those few TWs with like bonuses and this and that. I almost prefer those because they made you think. It was a little bit different. It made you think. Did not like the TWs where they just excluded certain characters. That was ridiculous. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But I wouldn't, just change the map. Change the layout. Do something. Something to just change TW up. Because it is fucking monotonous. It's ridiculous. Change TW up. That's the next thing you need to do, CG. Change TW up. Forget about a new raid. Forget about a new whatever. Change up TW. Just freshen it up a little bit. Just freshen it up. Like, come on. All right, so that was a shitty GAC, but what are you going to do?